Friends, good evening to everyone. This is M. Bujjababu, working as a chemistry lecturer in Vignan Cooperative Junior College, Vatlamudi. So already after the completion of the D block elements or transition elements, so from previous video we learned many bits from an objective pattern. So in this video also I would like to learn some bits on the D block elements or transition elements. So see the question number 1. The highest value of calculated spin-only magnetic moment in a Bohr magneton among all the transition metal complexes is. So many of the bits came from on the concept of magnetic moment of transition elements. So in the given for a multiple choice, the highest value of the calculated spin-only magnetic moment exhibited by in the transition element complex is which one? So we know that these D block elements are belongs to, they contain mainly how many series? 4 series that are nothing but a 3D series, 4D series element and 5D series elements and 6D series elements. So 3D series elements are from scandium to zinc, this one from yttrium to cadmium, so this one from lanthanum to mercury, and this is starting with actinium. Actually it is incomplete series. So generally the most maximum of unpaired electrons present in the d orbital are 5. So these are belongs to d block elements, that's why the configuration of d orbital like this. So actually d orbitals are 5. So the number of unpaired electrons, maximum number of unpaired electrons present in d orbitals are 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means the highest probability of magnetic moment which is expressed by the given transition metal complex is a D5 configuration. That is D5 configuration. So after knowing the D5 configuration, this is we have to the formula, the calculation of the spin-only magnetic moment of given transition metal complex. So there are two formulas are there. First one is mu s is equal to square root of 4s into s plus 1. In case of number of unpaired electrons, mu s is equal to square root of n into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. N into n plus 2 Bohr magneton. Here n is equal to number of unpaired electrons. Number of unpaired electrons present in the given transition element or ion. So here in the D5 configuration, here 5 unpaired electrons are present. So we have to this formula, we have to substitute in place of n, that is 5. Therefore mu s is equal to square root of 5 into 5 plus 2 Bohr magneton. 5 plus 2 Bohr magneton. So this is equal to square root of 5 into 5 plus 2 is 7. 5 7s 35. 35 Bohr magneton. So this is equal to approximate value 5.92 Bohr magneton. So this is the question from JEE main question in 2019 from JEE main question. This is asked from D block. So the highest value of the calculated spin-only magnetic moment in Bohr magneton among all the transition metal complex is 5.92. Because of the presence of number of unpaired electrons are 5, so they contain D5 electronic configuration. That means the number of unpaired electrons are 5. We have to use this formula. So for the calculation of the magnetic momentum of given transition metal complex, there are two formulas are there. First one is basing on the spin magnetic moment, and second one is basing on the angular orbital moment. Okay. In case of these 3D series elements, they possess only exhibit spin only magnetic moment. That's why we have to use the magnetic moment which is calculated by only spin magnetic moment by using this formula. In case of number of unpaired electrons, we have to use this formula square root of n into n plus 2. Okay. So number of unpaired electrons are 5. Then In place of n, we have to put the value of 5. We get root 35, that is equal to 5.92 Bohr magneton. The next question is the transition element having least enthalpy of atomization: zinc, vanadium, iron and copper. So generally these d block elements or transition elements have many types of properties. We already learned about that. First one, variable oxidation state, enthalpy of atomization, ionization potential values, their melting point values and boiling point values, and formation of colored ions, formation of complex compounds, and they also exhibit the property of catalytic nature. So for every individual property there is a reason behind why they exhibit such type of property. So in case of enthalpy of atomization, so what is the meaning of enthalpy of atomization? So the amount of enthalpy means heat energy, the amount of energy released when the given molecule will be dissociated into individual negative atoms. So that is known as enthalpy of atomization. So in case of the enthalpy of atomization of these three series elements like 3D, 4D, 5D series elements, they are initially increased and at middle they will be constant. Already we learned about that. So in case of the given four transition elements, zinc, vanadium, iron and chromium, which has the least enthalpy of atomization. So basing on this property, so we know that the atomic number of configuration, we have to write the electron configurations for this one. First one is zinc. First one is zinc. So once I write here the electronic configuration for atomic numbers: scandium, titanium, vanadium, chromium, manganese, iron, cobalt, nickel, copper and zinc. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 30. So in case of zinc, atomic number is 30. Zinc atomic number is equal to 30. Write this configuration: argon, argon 4s2. Argon means argon atomic number 18. 18 to 20, 3d10. 3d10. So in case of zinc, completely filled d orbital configuration 3d10. It is completely filled configuration. Therefore here number of unpaired electrons is equal to 0. N value is equal to 0. Number of unpaired electrons is equal to 0. Next come to the second one, vanadium. Vanadium. So what is atomic number for vanadium? Vanadium atomic number is 23. So write the configuration: argon 4s2. Argon means 18. 18 to 20, 23. That means 3d3. 3d3. So this is equal to how many number of unpaired electrons present here? 3d3 means number of unpaired electrons are 3. 1, 2, 3. Number of unpaired electrons are 3. So in case of zinc, 3d10 configuration, that is completely filled electronic configuration like this. 5 to 10 electrons. Number of unpaired electrons is equal to 0. In case of vanadium, number of unpaired electrons are 3. So come to the third one, iron. So what is atomic number of iron from the table? Iron atomic number is equal to 26. So write the configuration: argon, argon 4s2. Argon means 18. 18 to 26. 3d6. So write the electron configuration d orbital 3d6 like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So how many number of unpaired electrons are present here? 4. If the n value is equal to 4. So in case of copper, copper atomic number 29. So write the configuration: argon, argon 4s2. Argon means 18. 18 to 20, 29. 3d9. So write the electronic configuration d orbital 3d9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So how many number of unpaired electrons are present here? If n value is equal to 1. Number of unpaired electrons are present here 1. So after writing the electron configuration of these 4 atoms, zinc, vanadium, iron, copper, so which is the least value? Zinc. For n value is equal to 0 for zinc and n value is equal to 1 for copper. But actually the original answer is zinc. Original answer is zinc. So the transition element having least enthalpy of atomization, original value is zinc. But here zinc not be considered as a transition element. Zinc cannot be considered as it is a d block element, but it cannot be considered as a transition element because there is a exemption between the, in case of zinc, cadmium, mercury, these three are presenting in the d block elements, but they cannot be considered as a transition element basing on their electron configuration. Here we have to arise a doubt in your mind. So what is the relation between the number of unpaired electrons and enthalpy of atomization? So the question, what is the asked in that question means the transition element having least enthalpy of atomization. But what is the reason why we have to write the electron configuration for that atoms means the enthalpy of atomization is directly proportional to number of unpaired electrons. That is a very, very important formula. Enthalpy of atomization, so indicated by delta H. Delta H enthalpy of atomization is directly proportional to number of unpaired electrons. Is directly proportional to number of unpaired electrons, or it is also directly proportional to strength of the metallic bond. Strength of the metallic bond which is present between the atoms. Strength of the metallic bond. So this is a this is a clue word or clue sentence for solving this question. So the enthalpy of atomization is directly proportional to number of unpaired electrons or directly proportional to strength of the metallic bond. By observing this electron configuration of these 4 atoms, zinc is the least priority because number of unpaired electrons are 0, but answer is zinc. But zinc cannot be considered as a transition element. There is a exemption in case of zinc, cadmium and mercury. So zinc, cadmium, mercury belongs to d block elements, but they cannot be considered as a transition element. So what is the reason? Because of their stable electron configuration. In zinc 3d10 completely filled. The next priority goes to copper. After zinc, next priority goes to copper. Okay. So actual answer is zinc. So due to the number of unpaired electrons 0, so it has the least enthalpy of atomization for zinc. So it cannot be considered as a transition element. Therefore, next priority goes to copper because of presence of number of unpaired electrons are 1. The element that usually, next question now. The element that usually does not show variable oxidation state is. So for given the 4 transition element, which element does not show variable oxidation state? So what are the elements given here? Scandium, copper, titanium and vanadium. So only scandium exhibit +3 oxidation state, copper exhibit +1, +2 oxidation state, titanium exhibit +3 and +4 oxidation state, vanadium exhibit +2, +3, +4 and +5 oxidation states. So what is the meaning of variable oxidation state? If an element exhibit more than one oxidation state, that is known as variable oxidation state. But in case of scandium, it only exhibit +3 oxidation state because scandium atomic number is equal to, what is atomic number of scandium? 21. So write the electron configuration: argon 3s2, argon 4s2, 3d1. So argon means 18. Argon means 18, 20, 21. So in the 3d orbital only one unpaired electron is present. In 4s orbital, 2 electrons are present. These are easily ionized. These are easily ionized into. Therefore, losing 3 electrons from 1 from D and 2 from 4s, and finally scandium exhibit only +3 oxidation state. Therefore, among the 4 transition elements, scandium does not show any variable oxidation state, only on its electronic configuration. Next question. When esterified solution of K2Cr2O7, that is a potassium dichromate, is shaken with aqueous solution of FeSO4, ferrous sulfate, then what will be happen? So what is the question asked? The esterified solution of potassium dichromate is shaken with aqueous solution of ferrous sulfate. So write the equation for that one. Potassium dichromate K2Cr2O7. So dichromate ion is Cr2O7 minus 2. In acidic medium 14H plus, element of 6 electrons, it gives rise to 2Cr plus 3 plus 7H2. So this is the action of potassium dichromate, can act as a best oxidizing agent in acidic medium. So dichromate ion in acidic medium changes into Cr plus 3. Therefore, in FeSO4, ferrous sulfate, ferrous ion, Fe plus 2, it changes into Fe plus 3, 6 electrons are involved. So therefore, when the esterified solution of potassium dichromate shaken with aqueous solution of FeSO4, then finally dichromate ion Cr2O7 minus 2 reduced to Cr plus 3 ion. So this is the equation, solving equation for the esterified solution of potassium dichromate treated with FeSO4. Dichromate ion reduced to Cr, chromium ion. And next question, in alkaline medium, the equivalent mass of KMnO4 is, KMnO4 means potassium permanganate. In alkaline medium, the equivalent mass of potassium permanganate, so for that one, we have to write the balanced equation. In potassium permanganate, KMnO4, MnO4 permanganate ion plus 3 electrons, it gives rise to MnO2 plus 4OH minus. Permanganate ion changes into manganese dioxide in alkaline medium, that is a basic medium. Therefore, MnO4 minus changes to MnO2. Here 3 electrons are involved here. So oxygens are 4 plus 2, 6. So number of hydrogens 4. Therefore, the equivalent weight of potassium permanganate is equal to, so there is a formula for calculation of equivalent weight of acid or base or any compound or any salt. So you know that very well what is meant by equivalent weight of acid. So molecular weight of that acid by basicity. Basicity means number of replaceable hydrogen atoms from that acid. So how can we calculate the equivalent weight of base? Molecular weight of that base by acidity. Acidity means the number of replaceable OH groups from base. So in case of salt, the formula weight of the salt by charge presenting on the cation or anion. At a similar manner, equivalent of potassium permanganate is equal to, so molecular weight of potassium permanganate, that is denoted by M by, okay, number of electrons involved in the equation, that is 3, 1 M by. Next question, the equivalent weight of manganese sulfate is half of its molecular weight when it is converted to. The equivalent weight of manganese sulfate is half of its molecular weight when it is converted into Mn2O3 or MnO2 or MnO4 minus or MnO4 minus. So first we have to find out the oxidation number of manganese in the given compound. So the first compound is the manganese sulfate. Manganese sulfate, MnSO4. So find the oxidation state of manganese. Let it be X plus sulfur belongs to 16th group, oxygen, sulfur, selenium, tellurium, polonium. So 6 plus 4 into for oxygen minus 2, charge is 0. So therefore X plus 6 minus 8 is equal to 0. X minus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to plus 2. So come to the option 1. The first option is Mn2O3. Mn2O3 for here 2x plus 3 into minus 2 is equal to 0. 2x minus 6 is equal to 0. 2x is equal to 6. X is equal to 3. So come to the next one. MnO2 x plus 2 into minus 2 is equal to 0. X minus 4 is equal to 0. X is equal to plus 4. And next one, MnO4 minus x plus 4 into minus 2. This is equal to, charge on that one is minus 1. X minus 8 is equal to minus 1. X is equal to minus 1 plus 8. This is equal to plus 7. And the final thing is MnO4 minus 2, that x plus 4 into minus 2. So this is equal to charge minus 2. X minus 8 is equal to minus 2. X is equal to minus 2 plus 8. X is equal to plus 6. So from according to the question, the equivalent weight of manganese sulfate is half of its molecular weight. So when that situation is possible, so which condition is possible or favorable for the equivalent weight of manganese sulfate half of its molecular weight? That means when MnSO4 is changes to MnO2, in that case that is possible. Manganese sulfate changes into manganese dioxide. In manganese sulfate, manganese oxidation state is plus 2. In manganese dioxide, the oxidation state is equal to plus 4. Therefore, the number of electrons are involved for this transition. Number of electrons are involved is that one is 2 electrons. So in manganese sulfate, manganese oxidation state plus 2, it changes into plus 4 in manganese dioxide. Therefore, here the charge reduced by 2. 2 number of electrons are involved here. Therefore, if that when manganese sulfate changes into manganese dioxide, the equivalent weight of manganese sulfate is half of its molecular weight. When it is only possible in case of manganese sulfate changes into manganese dioxide basing on their oxidation state plus 2 to plus 4. It is not possible in case of Mn2O3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 6 and plus 7. Okay, so this is the possible answer. The final question is equivalent weight of potassium dichromate in acidic medium is. So what is the formula for equivalent weight? Equivalent weight is equal to, so molecular weight of that compound by, so valency involved in that equation. So potassium dichromate can act as a best oxidizing agent in acidic medium. Therefore, from potassium permanganate we have to write dichromate ion Cr2O7 minus 2 plus 14H plus 6 electrons. It gives rise to 2Cr plus 3 plus 7H2. So therefore, how many number of electrons here? 6 electrons here. Therefore, equivalent weight is equal to, so molecular weight denoted by M, number of electrons involved 6. Therefore, equivalent weight is equal to atomic weight by valency, that is equal to 6. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you to all.